All right, people. So today we're going to be going over Robert Greene's chapter on the art of seduction about how to create an illusion confusing desire and reality. Um, you guys are really going to love this chapter. So let's begin this. And don't forget, if you guys want to join the book club, the Robert Greene Book Club, you guys can, for the full videos, you guys can click on the description down below. And just for $5 a month, you can become a Patreon member. And when you become a Patreon member, you guys can see all of the Robert Greene videos, just like this, where I break down all of his books in a way that you guys can apply in your life. Okay, so let's begin with this. Let's see what he has to say.
Seduction. 14. Confuse desire and reality. The perfect illusion. The real world can be unforgiving. Events occur over which we have little control. Other people ignore our feelings in their quests to get what they need. Time runs out before we accomplish what we had wanted. If we ever stopped to look at the present and future in a completely objective way, we would despair. Fortunately, we develop the habit of dreaming early on. In this other mental world that we inhabit, the future is full of rosy possibilities.
Yeah, this is why, honestly, like for example, we all want to wish that we could just snap our fingers and fix our lives. That's a fantasy that everyone wants. Here I come and tell you that's not possible, right? But then let's just say a schmuck comes over and says, hey, I actually have a magic formula where you can flip the switch and your life changes. An alchemy, a secret that will allow you to attract anything that you want without any effort. A lot of people will buy into that because it turns their fantasy into reality. And this is why people who believe that some guy is Jesus or he's a god or they follow cults, because it creates a utopian world that we all wanted, that we all desired when we were children. And so, as crazy as it seems, a lot of people will believe the craziest things if it goes with their fantasies, right? So anytime so that's why people who sell people the dream quick, making money quick, that's why it works, because they know people want quick things, so they tell them what they want to hear. And by it's like, for example, I was listening to The Biggest Loser, the one who created it, and he was interviewing it, and he was talking about how he got the contract, and he said that he told the executives that he could he first told the executives that he could help them get 2 or 3 pounds a week, and they didn't want that. But then when he told them that he could make them lose 100 pounds in 3 months, they gave him the show. And the reason why that worked is because it's selling the dream. It's a lot easier to sell a program that could tell people they could lose 100 pounds in 3 months than a program that says you can lose two pounds per week. It doesn't sell that much. So it's the same thing. When selling people the fantasy always works, man. Telling the girl that you could be that me and you could be together forever, even though it's bullshit. The forever part is a fantasy, and you'll play on her Disney little fantasy. And a woman can easily be manipulated if you dangle what she wants in an exaggerated way.
Perhaps tomorrow we will sell that brilliant idea or meet the person who will change our lives. Our culture stimulates these fantasies with constant images and stories of marvelous occurrences and happy romances. The problem is, these images and fantasies exist only in our minds or on screen. They really aren't enough.
Never in reality. And the reason why they appear on screen is because it's manipulated. All of these people online in social media, like for example, if I really wanted to sell products for men, I would just start first of all, I would show my girls, because I'm a private person. Like, I'm not an ugly guy, people. Like, don't you think I could sell more products for men if I actually show the people that like, if I actually show people the type of women that come up to me? It's kind of crazy. But I don't do that because personally, I like to keep their lives private. But also, I might get into the habit of I might get reinforced by the reaction and start faking shit. Like, the road to hell was paved with a good intention. All these people who fake stuff first started off with good intentions, right? So it's kind of like all of these celebrities that like, for example, like when somebody's selling get rich quick schemes, what do they usually do? They show off how much money they make. They show off the yacht. They show off the planes. They're all doing that to stimulate your fantasies to an exaggerated view of reality. That's why they say people believe a lie more than the truth. That's not possible. Most of the things you see is not possible, but you believe that a lot more than what's really possible. Because the brain wants to believe that it wants to have the easiest path. So it's more likely to believe the bullshit. It's that's why me personally, I don't go for easy stuff. Personally, I go for the hard path because the hard path is more true than the easy path. The hard path leads to more success than the easy path, and it prevents you from being manipulated.
We crave the real thing, not this endless daydreaming and titillation. Your task as a seducer is to bring some flesh and blood into someone's fantasy life by embodying a fantasy figure or creating a scenario resembling that person's dream.
Yeah, like embodying a fantasy figure, right? For example, guys, like an escort, as an example, an escort would be your fantasy, and the man will, and she'll play whatever fantasy you want to play. Fucking lick my toes. I don't fucking know, right? Or another example is when a man reminds you of the dad you never had, or when a woman reminds you of the mother you never had. All of those things of wanting a dad is always in your fantasy. If you never had a mom, you always think how it is to have a mom. And so when you have a woman that provides that nurture, you will then project your desire onto her, and you'll become attracted to that person because their a dream become reality. Or it's almost like when you meet a celebrity. You see them in your mind so much that when you actually see them in real life, it blows your mind. You get starstruck because you're seeing a fantasy become reality. And a lot of the times we get disappointed when we meet them, right? Or it could be that, let's just keep listening because there's so many things.
No one can resist the pull of a secret desire that has come to life before their eyes.
That's why you have all of these guys who get caught up in cheating. They cheat because maybe they've been fantasizing about another woman, and when the woman presents herself, it becomes a dream, becomes reality, right? And that's why you got to know what is this person's fantasy. That's why role playing, those kinky games, role playing, finding out what the person's fantasy is and playing it, it's actually really good. Find out what your partner's fantasies are and do it. I remember one girl, she was like, "Oh, I'm into trans women." I'm like, you know what? That's not the fantasy that I want. Okay, like we are not doing that fantasy. She was like, hey, "My fantasy is a trans woman." I'm like, you know what? I can't fulfill that fantasy. Right? We're not doing any threesomes with any fucking right. But when you're able to fulfill people's fantasies, it may not be sexual. It could be that maybe they want a father figure. The woman might want a father figure. It could be that maybe that the man likes anime and he wants you to dress up as an anime girl, as a game, right? You're bringing his fantasies into reality. All of those things is deeply seductive. Or it could be if you're a political figure, sell them a dream, utopia. So Trump was preaching what? Make America great again. Obama was preaching hope. Martin Luther King was preaching unity, right? Find out, or the LGBTQ preaches inclusiveness, a world where everyone is inclusive. Find out what the fantasy of the people who you're talking to and tell them, and they'll be drawn. Just make sure you don't lie. Just make sure you don't exaggerate. Because if you do lie, you do get more results. But also you start getting vipers on you because people hate being lied to. People hate when people exaggerate the truth.
You must first choose targets who have some repression or dream unrealized.
Choose the targets. Make sure that they have it, because if you try to do this on someone who has no fantasies, it's not going to work on them. And usually the ones that have fantasies are the bored, the unhappy, the miserable, the ones that have no lives, the ones who have unfulfilled dreams, the ones who are resentful, the ones who have regrets. That's why it's important for you as a person to make sure you don't have that. Through meditation, you could almost like exercise those unfulfilled fantasies by accepting that you're not going to have them. Like meditation does so many things, and also meditation decreases the intensity of your fantasies to the point where the things you want become more realistic. Like what? Having a good coffee. enjoying your day. You don't have to be flying. You don't have to be in a yacht to enjoy. But when you keep seeing people in yachts, when you keep seeing people tell you that's what makes them happy, you'll assume that'll make you happy. The truth is, it won't make you happy. The truth is, life is anticlimactic. Life is never what you expect. It's always anticlimactic. And what these people do is that they tell you that there's another level of happiness that you'll get if you gain this. And they sell you bullshit. Truth is, that's not true. Life is anticlimactic. Enjoy the simple things. Don't buy into somebody telling you that if you get this crazy outcome with a lot of money, a lot of girls, a lot of guys, or a husband, that's gonna make you happy. No, the one who's saying the truth is the one that tells you there's happiness in mundane things. There's happiness in simplistic things, but that's not the fantasy. That's the problem with giving that message. That's a problem when I preach this message.
Always the most likely victims of a seduction. Slowly and gradually, you will build up the illusion that they are getting to see and feel and live those dreams of theirs. Once they have this sense...
It's like cults. The reason why people join cults is because it gives them a feeling of security. It's a feeling of a family. A lot of people feel insecure. And cults give them a fantasy of feeling united with other people. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Become a Patreon supporter to join the Robert Greene Book Club. Right now we're at a meditation retreat, so I'm going to be uploading more Robert Greene Book Club videos when I come back. But do join the Patreon so that you can watch the previous book club videos and so that you guys can get alerted of the other videos. It's only $5 a month. You get the book club videos and other videos that I post there that I don't post on YouTube. Take care.